Welcome back, lads, as we get into the second game of the night between TUD Daredevils and MTU Shrooms, where we're just going to get straight into the action with the Ash ban for TUD Daredevils. What are we thinking of?
I'm curious to see what the drafts come out as. I know you were saying previously that the TUD Daredevil squad was quite good as the B team. As we just seen, the TUD A team are pretty good, but now 5-0. TUD Daredevils only lost to Wiggy Wanderers so far. And Wiggy Wanderers just lost to the TUD A team, so I am actually curious to see how well their B team do. We're going to see the Jinx ban come out. Hecarim and Syndra also very strong in the current patch. Rammus being banned into MTU as well. So I think there's definitely I think the Ashe and Rammus are probably target bans.
Yeah, it's interesting how they go about it, really. However, in the K'Sante, and it's going to be a K'Sante ban as well, does leave some powerful top laners up. Darius available, Renekton available, Jinx still up. Jinx being banned. The final ban going to be the Jinx. However, in the Jarvan, what do we think about the Jarvan? What do we think about that?
I like Jarvan. I think Jarvan is... I wouldn't say he's an underrated jungler. He's very commonly seen in competitive, but like it's not someone you see come out very often in like in like the collegiate or even in ranked very much, because if you don't have your team to kind of back him up, he can be quite situational. But I think when you have the backing of a team like in this kind of scenario, he can be so powerful, especially with the amount of champions right now that have so much mobility. Having that cataclysm to just try catch someone and keep them contained for a little bit to layer some damage in, especially in a meta where we see a lot of Xerath and Orianna, for example. We're actually see the Orianna get picked up by MTU.
It's an interesting pick. Good teamfight potential. So you can build a comp around it. There's a lot it does. Kind of interesting what they actually do. But it's what they build around it and how MTU play it that really kind of shows what it's going to be. And I mean, we're already going into kind of world standard with the Jarvan, and now the Kai'Sa locked in. Another world staple so far for MTU. And interesting here to see here what TUD8. They could go for the Narvin. Gnar is up for the side of the Daredevils if they want to take it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Gnar come out. Gnar's super strong in that top lane. Has a lot of benefits, especially as you said with the Jarvan being able to just ult into that wall. But we're going to see the Zyra Khan come out as a response, and yeah, this is a very world-esque draft, like you said. The Orianna Kai'Sa and then in the Zyra Khan counter, Orianna just so strong in the meta because she's just such a counter into a lot of mid laners, and it's one of those things where we're finally seeing Orianna start to get picked up again in kind of the world scene. We haven't seen her too much because of Azir is a thing that happened, and buffing Azir just means everyone's going to play Azir. So it's nice to see Orianna starting to come back into the fold, and Renata going to come out as the support, and smart from MTU as well, just taking the support on 3. Commonly you'll see them go for some sort of power pick on 3, and then they're going to leave the support pool to be pinched, but got to take that support pool, or got to take the support now and just leave that top and jungle open for okay, that's not what I was expecting. Ornn to be banned from MTU. I was thinking the MTU might take something like Ornn to initiate fights, because they're playing where their only things they're going to have to initiate right now are Orianna, and I was thinking something nice like Ornn paired up with them would be kind of nice, have the Ornn knock up into the Orianna shockwave.
They still have some engage options. Still have Darius available right now so far.
Yeah.
They still have got AP of the team as well, especially Renata Glask and the Kai'Sa and the Ori. So they are looking towards these AD top laners, and there is a lot available at the moment. Garen is up, Darius is up. There's a few options for them to choose from so far, so I wouldn't be too off. But I've seen Rumble a bit as well, being floating around there. I've seen a bit of rumblings of Rumble being picked up as well, but if anyone were to pick that, I would say it would be the TUD Daredevils, potentially.
Yeah, they definitely need some more. They need some more AP on their side, depending on what they go for in mid. It definitely depends on what MTU come here as their 4th pick. It's going to be straight into the Sedge counter for the Jarvan. Leave that 5th pick for their top laner, so they know what that matchup's going to be at least. And Cassio and Viego being taken out in the... I don't know why they took out the Viego. After seeing Rakan, I don't think we're going to see a Jarvan top lane anyway. So they banning the Viego. Completely mind blank there, apologies. The Viego banned. Sejuani going to be taken instead. Sedge is exactly what I was saying. They needed something with more engage potential, so Ori can have some combo, and with the Ornn taken off by themselves, Sedge at least gives them a little bit of that, being able to lock someone down so that the Ori can pull in, Kaisa can dash, Renata. They have a lot of ultimates that can be dumped on top of each other to cause just mayhem if layered correctly on the side of MTU, so it's not looking too bad from them now. It really comes down to what they opt as a top laner. Gnar, as you said, could be good for either side. We're actually going to see the Olaf come out of TUD Daredevils.
I mean, it's handy. I mean, drop a J4 ulti and put an Olaf in there. You can't run away. If he has some AoE with some items and an ulti on him, you can't really stop this Olaf from doing anything. Sejuani ulti won't do anything when you've got that Olaf ulti as well, and it's a nice pick. Stops Ori Shockwave, stops Renata rooting you. There's a lot of nice things that you could use an Olaf to get around, and I mean, if provided TD play it well, it'd be very nice. And it looks like the reverse is happening here as MTU lock in the Gnar for themselves, which means, you know, you might lock us in with the Jarvan ulti, but we'll just pull her off Narvan combo, just the other way around. We'll jump in and we'll ulti you into your own ulti.
Yeah, and I was just thinking that, you know, the Gnar really does help them in that comp, trying to layer as much CC as possible. I love that Olaf counter that you pointed out. It's so nice into a composition where they're just stacking and stacking the CC. It's a completely different matchup than we've seen in our first game that we casted this evening, where we have a composition coming out from MTU, which is just CC on CC on CC, and then to have something like Olaf come out as your 5th pick to just completely counter it is honestly really nice wherewithal from TUD. We're just gonna have to see whether they can actually pull off the Olaf, because he is quite simple to play. He is just a kind of run you down champion, and hopefully I'm not sure who's piloting the Gnar. I believe it's Earthshaker. I'm curious to see whether Earthshaker can actually manage to space correctly against the Olaf. It can be really bad. He has the range advantage already, so it's going to come down to those like footsies and whether he's able to space into the Olaf. If the Olaf can Ragnarok and get on top of him, it can be really rough for him.
You can also Olaf ulti, Gnar ulti.
Yeah.
If you want to stop, make sure you don't get locked in either. Something else that Olaf can block with that ult. But yeah, range advantage with that Gnar is fairly hard. But at the same time, if Olaf lands an axe and gets onto Mini Gnar, there's not much Mini Gnar can do if he gets his E used.
Yeah, exactly. And in towards this mid lane, Victor being taken up to counter that Ori. It's a matchup that we've seen a million times. It's probably going to be a very similar to from the last game with the LeBlanc. It's just going to be a lot of trading early on. And hopefully we see a couple solo kills come in that lane, especially with Victor. If Victor can get ahead in that lane, get a kill or two, get those upgrades early on, it could really just run away for TUD. Now, I do believe we're going to throw to a break early this time because we seem to be having an issue with one of the players connecting. So we're going to throw to a break, technical pause, try to get the player back into the lobby and ready to go, and then we will be starting the game as soon as possible. We'll be slightly longer break than usual, but we will be back very shortly. Don't go anywhere. Play-by-play, I'll try to cams for a second. For some reason, just to get you guys back in the loop of what happened, I had a spectator bug, which happens to me all the time as the observer for this. I spectated on one of the players, which is in my friends list, to get back into the game, and for some reason it spectated me into a different game. It spectated me into Arcane's game for some reason. So I guess it was a friends list bug. Games. I think I'm spectating the right one now. So we should be in very shortly.
Yeah, I was wondering how you were so far ahead of me. I was like, geez, you're very far ahead. Nothing happened so early on. A flash being used there by Cookie on the run, but he also went Ignite Kaisa bot lane. I can't tell if that's a bug or if he's just a nut job. But yeah. Let me know when you're in the game.
I am in the game. Transition.
Right, 40, 1, 2,
yeah, I'll catch
3, 4,
you're at
5,
240.
7, 48, 9, 50, 1, 2, 3. Are you in there?
Yep, man.
5, 6. Okay. So as we just saw there, first blood just went over to the Zaya, Ben Tennyson in the bot lane with a nice gank coming out there from Mongolian Yeti. Did have to use the flash, same thing for Ben Tennyson and Matrix, but they did pick themselves up a kill. We also saw Cookie in the run, opting for the Ignite. I really think he messed that up, but I assume he can't replay the game to change his summons, but I think he's just stuck because of the draft lol and all that stuff. So Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of unfortunate he took the wrong summoner, but it's completely his fault. So we see White Raven looking for something with a Jack there. Slow going down. He's really pushing him out here, and it's some very strange plays coming out here very early on the side of Team Daredevils. Why White Raven is currently sitting in the red side jungle, I do not know. But we'll find out now. Is something's kind of kicking off a bit here. White Raven trying to go forward. A lot of damage coming through. Mongolian Yeti trying to stop Jack Attack. And it's just a bit haywire early on into this game. Something of note is Jack Attack didn't even go an item. What is this game? Jack Attack didn't even go a starting.
Oh no. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think he may have... I don't know if he made a mistake. But yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't know if you... I can see he has his jungle item. He has 5 stacks down on it right now. But I'm not sure if that's...
I don't know. This game's just weird. I think MTU are just really... I don't know what they're doing at the moment here. It just seems to be a bit haywire at the moment. Unless I saw you start jungle item, but regardless, it's just... When did Jarvan got the opportunity to recall? I don't know, this game is just throwing me. I don't even know anymore, man. This game is just throwing me off. The Ignite Kai'Sa 80 carry is just doing numbers on my brain. I can't imagine this.
Yeah, whether that was intentional or not, it's definitely not going to be helpful in this game. And as you said, if it was a mistake, once you're actually in, once you get through that champ select, you're not able to go back and change it. So you have Ignite for this game. So White Raven now.
He should have gone lethality. But we thought White Raven there looking for Earthshaker, doesn't have Mega, he nearly has all the stacks, flash forward, flash back from Earthshaker, Q available, White Raven taking the kill, and as I was saying, if White Raven gets on the Gnar, it can be very hard for Gnar. Gnar has the range advantage, but it might not be over here with Noodle getting taken low, 3 members of MTU pushing up very far there, but they don't get the kill.
The response
and all in all, again,
the response now is
they've
shipped that wave in bot and they've wandered up river trying to see what they can find, but the play has already been called off. They're now just trying to grab some info. They spot the Renata. Are they gonna try for this? No, surely not. Yeah, they're just gonna let him walk by, just keep that info. They know where the Renata is. I was a little bit worried. Matrix was pushing up, and then I seen the Xayah walking away. I was like, Matrix may go for something like go for it, but luckily doesn't do it. Now as we get back into this more standard laning phase, yeah, this was a very weird early game coming out from the side of TUD with that top side invasion, putting pressure on the Sejuani early, and of course that kill in the bot lane, first blood going over, pretty nice, and Olaf getting a kill early. Now as a fight breaks out in the bot lane, and then what? Men's just gets absolutely... He just pops.
Blasted there. Well, I mean, look, there's no Ignite. Matrix used his Ignite, but as we see, because the support has no Ignite, that means the AD carry is Ghost, and Ben Tennyson with a useful summoner early on in this bot lane. Like, what's Cookie on the Run going to do? I would say he maybe, you know, if you really wanted to argue, oh, I did it for kill pressure early, he should have gone lethality. First item dagger as well, leads me to believe he's not going lethality Kai'Sa.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you here. I think that
he should probably go it as well. They're so squishy.
Yeah, like, lethality would be nice. Yeah, lethality is definitely the play here for that Kai'Sa. We're going to see what he actually builds into his first item, but I agree with you. Lethality was probably the right decision. First Drake's going to be taken down by the Jarvan on Mongolian Yeti. Got to be able to take that one, so... believe it. Yeah, next is our Infernal Drake in 5 minutes time. That will be a nice item for, or a nice buff for them as well. Because I was gonna say, are they gonna give this over or? Okay, no, it is gonna be taken by Mongolian Yeti. I wasn't sure if they were. The Xayah was wandering up, so I was wondering if they're gonna give it over to the Xayah, but it's gonna be an easy buff steal. And Mongolian Yeti's doing a great job of actually just denying stuff from the Sejuani early on in this game, just slowing them down on their topside camps after clearing, doing his own full clear, then going and taking Flu buff, and they're going to catch Men's out once again.
Yeah, flash was burned from Matrix there. No Ignite, but still a really nice play. Forced the flash at Men's feet. Nearly a kill, and if you got a kill, that was some serious value that TUD gets there. And as we see, another TUD team getting an early lead, and maybe it's a tell for what might happen later on.
Yeah, getting the flash out of Men's as well is huge. Just keeping those flash advantages. They have in most of the lanes, they have one. So gonna get that one. Another attempt with the Rakan. Handshake will stop it. A lot of damage put down by Cookie on the run. This is where this Ignite could possibly come into... No, they're just too far away. That's the problem with the Kai'Sa, just not having that upgrade on their E yet, not able to catch up with them. Ignite, you really have to commit with the ultimate early on if you want to go for that Ignite play. get that early kill that you were saying that he could possibly go for. But now gonna have the Sejuani down there just to cover for them a little bit. Not obviously noticing there. I think the Sejuani walked down to try to get the blue buff, not noticing it was taken. Lack of wards in the river, not showing that this is something we've seen in the last game as well with QUB, just not really warding very much, and TUD took full advantage of that. And the lack of vision on that blue side, making Sedge wasting time walking down there, and now just has to walk all the way back around to the map. It's over a minute and a half wasted. And now Cookie on the run, almost caught by Matrix, just trading some damage.
Maybe he shouldn't have cancelled his recall there.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah,
Not at risk.
I agree with you there. And Cookie on the run, looking to try, only really trading damage while they're crashing this wave. So yeah, I agree with you. Probably should have just committed to the back. Earthshaker now gonna spot out Mongolian Betty again. The lack of vision means that they didn't see this coming. Can't get to Mega Gnar. The bar's way too far away and doesn't even need the Cataclysm to be able to take him down.
Yeah, White Raven, I've played against him before. Even though he is I believe he was pretty high rank UNE, so he's not just some flat player anyway. White Raven, and then from when I played with the guy, he seems very good as well, which is why it's interesting against Earthshaker, who is, a high rank player enough. Just it's a pretty tough matchup. We do see Shockwave being used there from me Lobster, not getting anything. It doesn't matter really, as Noodle kind of just making it out and doing his own thing. But in this top lane, TUD really just laying down the law, putting the old Rift Herald down the top lane, nearly getting this tier 1 turret. Looks like they're just going to take this, wait for the next wave, and maybe push more, because what's Earthshaker going to do? He's so far behind right now. And 2.2k White Raven sitting on, that's a mythic item for White Raven when he recalls and comes back to lane. He doesn't really need TP when he's items. And me Lobster is so low, and he nearly gets taken out there, but here comes Jack Attack. No ulti, flash forward, going to slow down the members of TUD. Maybe get a knock up, a double knock up there from the Rakan, though, to stop him getting onto Noodle, but he's going aggressive for this. Does he get the slow? He does onto Noodle. Noodle's super low here. Taps and connects. He's stunned. Not going to give the kill to Ben Tennyson, though, but it doesn't matter. As in response, the Cataclysm takes out me Lobster, who overstayed his welcome ulti from Men's Feed. Not going to matter. And Jack Attack now, after making a nice play there, is going to get taken out by Mongolian Yeti, as he was just on the other side of that wall, and it was oh so unfortunate for the side of MTU.
It felt like that fight was back and forth, but it was actually just all just QUB or TUD there. They caught that kill in mid right after to get that kill back over, and then just snowballed from there, catching every single member of MTU that wandered up. And now Earthshaker trying to get something back on this top lane, actually dealing a lot of damage to the Olaf. Almost has Mega.
75.
He has to keep autoing here. He has to try to get that Mega up if he wants to go for this, but he got slowed by the Olaf axe, and that's probably going to be the last of that we see. If he landed that Q, maybe he goes for it, but I think the health is just too high on White Raven for him to get. He's actually emoting. And yeah, I think this is pretty much a stalemate.
Ulti, so if he wants to, he can E-flash ulti White Raven into the wall. But the problem then is he doesn't have Ragnarok, which he doesn't try for it anyway. There's the E, still has the flash available. Q comes up in a bit because he got the reset on, and down comes the shutdown for Earthshaker. And White Raven, maybe a bit BM there, overstayed his welcome, and honestly just a bit aggressive, especially considering that Gnar had flash, and he knew he didn't have the Ragnarok up. He couldn't do anything about it anyway. But as we see here, another fight breaking out, but a really nicely played from Men's Feet there, but it didn't matter because he gets rooted anyway by the Rakan.
Yeah, great handshake to knock Mongolian Yeti back, but it doesn't matter. The Rakan playing so well, and this is why Rakan is so prioritized even in the Worlds meta. He just has so much mobility, so much CC, and so much setup for his team, especially when you have 4 members there collapsing on that mid lane. It's hard to get out when you have that much surrounding you, and that's going to be a second Drake going over to TUD early on in this game.
TUD Daredevils showing up big right now. Only lost to Biggie Wanderers. You can see now why off some of these, because right now they're really stomping MTU early. Here comes the EQ. Does he have the Cataclysm? He does. It doesn't really matter. Shockwave is available. Me Lobster not going to use it. Oh, he does in the end. Maybe slow long enough, but do you see Renata Glass maybe trying to do something to keep him alive? Flash Force from Matrix. And I mean, again, another kill for TUD and a misplay from MTU.
Men's Feet.
Oh, Cataclysm!
Men's Feet overstaying his welcome, and Matrix punishes him. Yeah, he was sitting on vision. Oh, flashes the flag and actually manages to live. Oh, that was so close.
Just about though.
That was perfectly timed to be able to dodge it. The flag was right above his head when he flashed. Earthshaker actually outplaying White Raven once again. Has Mega Gnar, but I think but the back coming out. Does he? Okay, I was thinking Earthshaker might, you know, hop forward and maybe flash him into the wall, but not going to go for it.
Available. If he does that, he just pops Ragnarok and swaps it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to wait out Ragnarok timer. Because, like, I mean, I used to play a lot of Gnar back in the day, but, like, with Gnar especially, like, that matchup it's kind of hard early because if Olaf gets on you in mini Gnar, it's so hard for you to get out because you just force E and then he runs at you again. And what do you do then? Now your E's on cooldown. But what ends up happening is if you can get that poke out, especially with the Trinity Force movement speed that Gnar gets and around that kind of first item spike he gets, it's a bit harder for White Raven to get at him because he has so much natural mobility from that Trinity Force and fighting potential as well, especially with some of the changes to Hyper where they give the Hyper move speed a buff as well. He's very mobile, and it just means that with a lot of this poke from the Q and how mobile Gnar is, it can be very hard for White Raven to kind of kite his way out of things, especially against the Gnar, and with the Ghost and the Flash available, all Gnar has to do then in the reverse of the role is just bait the Ragnarok out with Mega Gnar, or if he can, basically force it out unintentionally with a gank. All he has to do then is just get Mega Gnar again, and he can pretty much just force the fight in White Raven. White Raven really needs to either get on Gnar and pull the trigger, or sit back. Because if he's kind of playing a back and forth game, he's not going to get anything. Meanwhile though, in this mid lane, a bit of damage coming through. Noodle fighting me Lobster. The lanes are swapped around here. We've got the bot lane and the mid lane, and the mid lane and the bot lane. But no turrets taken, so no real reason for this to be happening. But Mongolian Yeti does the kill onto Earthshaker. But Earthshaker has Mega available. A bit of a cautious flash there. He should have held on to it. But does he have E? He doesn't. And maybe that was a bit strange, but it didn't really matter as Mongolian Yeti going to be saved by the Rakan coming into the top lane. Yeah, again, a bit strange from TUD there.
I thought that was a bit of a misplay coming out from Earthshaker flashing before the Cataclysm, but it looked like Earthshaker was ready for it, got the Mega Gnar, and was able to actually use that ult to knock the Jarvan into his own wall, almost getting the kill like you said.
Still E over it, but I used the E as well, which is what got me. I used the E and then the flash before the Cataclysm.
Yeah, I got him trapped in. Matrix coming up for the save now as we get an all-out brawl for this Rift Herald.
Into this. Something might happen. Down goes one. Earthshaker on the defensive here. No Mega Gnar available. White Raven, though, going to try and run down the Orianna. Well, he's going to say, well, I might take Earthshaker, but out comes the Shockwave. Earthshaker not going to go Mega and get that health back in time. Matrix might be taking a bit too many turret shots, though, and might go down. Victor Beam not going to get anything. Turret still standing, and Wave is not available just yet. So it looks like Lobster is a sitting duck for now, while Mongolian Yeti doesn't have the Cataclysm, doesn't need it. A flag and drag coming through, and a Victor Beam and an assist, and Noodle picks that up with the empowered Victor Beam.
And Matrix lives is the major thing there. That was what the Ori was going for, and not even getting one kill out of that is really rough for them. Noodle gonna get his back stopped by Men's Feet, but that's the only thing they're getting. A little bit of tempo, but this is looking very similar to our game one. Yeah, the 7k gold if this is so
even
similar.
Earlier,
yeah, it's even earlier. 16 minutes, 2 Drakes up. This is definitely going to be a quick one. Men's Jack Attack actually going for it, but he's going to stand into the gravity field and get stunned. Mongolian Yeti's here to stop it as well. So Jack Attack fishing for something, but not going to be able to find anything. And the gap between these two teams just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, at the moment, TUD Daredevils are looking really strong at the moment. There's no really pointing that out, really, because you can see in the mid lane, an item and a half currently for Noodle, with good CS as well. He's 30 CS up right now on Lobster, who's really struggling in this laning phase. And even Cookie on the run, he's done feck all, because what else can he do? He has the Ignite and he's the Flash. He doesn't really have much survivability, and without Granada Glass, he doesn't have much appeal for himself neither.
Earthshaker finally going to get that topside tower. Noodle here to match him now. Ult into the wall. He actually. He's going for it.
Stun, but it doesn't matter because he got rooted by Noodle there. Chaos Storm going to come out as well, but he's now mini form, and he might be too squishy to stay alive, and he gets taken out.
Oh, the timing of the Gnar, of the Mega Gnar really just messed him up there. He went for it. He knows his limits, but the timer really playing tricks on him, not able to secure that one now as third Drake started up for the side of TUD. They're going to go in for this 3v2 now as Orianna starting to rotate in. Renata Glasgow going to go down. Berserk onto 2. Matrix actually taking a good bit of damage now, but they just see the Drake. They just don't have the positioning available for it.
Yeah, and that's going to be the Dragon. 3 Dragons currently means we are going to get a 23-minute potential Chemtech, and it's another Chemtech soul this game, just like our last game. Very similar. TUD ahead in both games and a Chemtech soul. Bit sus.
Yeah, it definitely is. As now, oh, Ben. Oh, but the person goes wide.
Connector. And he rooted him. You just see the Zaya. route to Sejuani, but it didn't really matter. He's taking it anyway. But J4 going to take it to Renata. He's looking for me Lobster next. 1v3 currently, but here's Matrix. Maybe to give him a bit of heal. Killer Instinct coming up from the Kaisa. Passive damage coming through. But it didn't matter, as maybe he overextended a bit there, and poor Mongolian Yeti goes down. That's going to be a 2-for-0 in favor of MTU. But White Raven looking for something back in response. He knows Earthshaker's not Mega, but Mega soon. He used the E quite early there as well, because that is quite a long cooldown on the Gnar. I know he needs to get out, but I don't know, maybe he could hold on to it a bit more. I know you get the attack speed roid, but if I was Earthshaker, I'd be using that E a bit more proactively instead of reactively. But we do see now, out comes the Ragnarok, no rooting needed, a lot of damage coming through, a lot of attack speed, but it didn't matter as Earthshaker taking out White Raven, and White Raven again being caught out in this 1v1.
Yeah, not popping the Ragnarok early enough to cancel that ultimate, and that's just White Raven I think just misplaying, walking up the lane and getting caught out by the Gnar. He did try to wait out the Mega Gnar timer as much as he could, but as you said, Gnar just taking his time after using that hop to space a little bit, using the time to just let that cooldown take down. But this game is just non-stop action. Cookie on the run is on the run with this Kaisa, trying to get away, has the Xayah ghosting and chasing him behind it, but that refracted E now on the Kaisa, still not enough to get away.
2 items on that Kaisa. She's got the Navori quick blades as well. She is so strong, and she's currently nearly about 9 CS a minute at the moment. She's got the most CS in the game by a margin. 20 CS up on the Victor, 20 CS up on Cookie on the run, and maybe a bit more now after that wave's gone down. And I mean, with this Xayah being so far ahead, she's a serious win condition for MTU. And as long as the remaining members of TUD, as long as TUD heals for this Kaisa, there's so much, or Xayah, there's so much she could do right now.
Yeah, and now they actually are starting to set up vision for the Baron, even though it's probably a bit too early, even for TUD here. They could try to go for this, but they don't really have the resources to be able to do it with so many members of MTU floating around, clearing out as much vision as they can. I guess they're just defending in case they try to go for something sneaky here, but it's really not in their best interest to do so. They don't have their carries here to be able to burst this one down. They have the Kaisa covering those mid waves. Matrix now just clearing out some vision in the pit will get spotted by Jack Attack, but back to a stalemate for these two teams. There's not really anything up until the next Drake, and that's probably going to be the next big point of contention, trying to stop this soul coming out from the side of TUD.
Daredevils.
Yeah, and Matrix again, just Jack Attack waiting for him. Gonna actually hit the Baron and cause some damage going over towards Matrix. They now have actually sent a couple more members up here because of how much presence MTU have. Yeti gonna get spotted, gonna take a little bit of damage, but shield from the flag is enough. Keep him fully healed up before this next fight. 4 members from both sides now up towards this top side of the map. And the Ori is still bot side. Has TP available. But it actually seems like they're not gonna look for this Baron for the time being. Matrix just gonna pop that blast cone. Stop anything happening. They're gonna. Oh wait, Matrix actually going for it.
Oh my god, I love the engage there from Matrix, and that's Men's feet down, and that is a Sejuani running away with dear life. That's potentially a Baron for TUD Daredevils.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they needed. Just one big pick to be able to start off this Baron. Takes down.
Look how far Ben Tennyson's melting it. Look how fast that thing's up.
Yeah, and TP's coming in from middle as well.
There is nothing in TP right now but sweep and take a tier 1 mid turret to get the shutdown back, but it doesn't matter. Lovely knock coming through from Matrix on the Jack Attack. Jack Attack forced the flash. Ignite coming out there as well. They're not chasing too aggressive, but Cookie on the run trying to kill her instinct away to safety, but it doesn't matter. Ben Tennyson taking him out, and that's your 80 carry down. Was dragging up in 20 seconds right now. TUD looking to take a soul and a Baron in the same space of time.
Yeah, and this is the 23-minute Baron you were speaking of, or Drake that you were speaking of, and this game is starting to run away from MTU. It's now starting to get into the point where it's not really viable to come back, and Men's feet gonna pop the hostile takeover. Again. Manages to live, and Matrix as well gonna live. Just the hostile takeover just giving him enough time, and still not very much they can do here. Drake now is up. They have no one here to contest it. The Sejuani's still back in base. Kaisa's walking down, and the Drake is being burned.
Yes, it's going to be Dragon just straight up going to TUD Daredevils. Look at Zaya absolutely demolishing the objectives right now. That is a Chemtech Soul and a Baron for TUD at 23 minutes in. And I would not want to be any team.
Yeah, it's even, you know, they've lost all their tier 1s, they've lost their tier 2 in mid. They have very little vision. They have the furthest point of vision they have is the red ward in the bot side river, and that's it. I wouldn't be surprised if TUD just now start warding up in that red side on the red side, red jungle, just trying to take whatever they can, because Matrix is doing a great job of spotting them out and finding openings for their team, and it's being followed up by Ben Tennyson, who has been popping off on the Zaya, making sure to follow up on whatever they're given. And Noodle as well, doing a great job of keeping this Orianna busy in the side lane. And White Raven, just although has had 2 kills go over to this to Earthshaker on the Gnar, a bit unfortunately, but just making sure to match that top side. And again, there goes that Matrix gonna get in on that Rakan. Now going to get stuck in with the Cataclysm Jack attack. Oh, Matrix is actually going to take that one. In the meantime, Earthshaker going to pop the ult, but it's a bit too late. White Raven had already turned around. That Ragnarok speed on top of the Ghost, just giving him everything he needs.
And White Raven benefits so much from that Chemtech Soul. He gets resistances and he gets an 11% damage as soon as he gets below that health. And considering Olaf passive is just straight attack speed for health, he can do so much with Chemtech Soul.
Yeah, it's really, really lucky for him. Noodle now going to get taken down.
Yeah, the run though finally gets the kill.
Yeah, but he gets taken down by the shockwave, or the gravity field, or whatever it's called. Chaos Storm, that's the one on Victor. But Men's Feet gonna get stuck by the Rakan, and I think this may be them trying to end the game.
I mean, 25 seconds on the run, 24 seconds on Men's Feet. I mean, all we were hoping for is Earthshaker to do something, but right now it looks like TUD can just take 2 inhibitors, maybe a bit more. Out comes the Sejuani ulti, but Kaisa gonna ult that away, but it didn't matter. They get a shutdown though in response. Earthshaker looking to do something. Matrix popping that ulti down, only hitting the Sejuani, and TUD running away in what looks to be 2 steps forward, 1 step back for them.
Yeah, they kind of bit off more than they could chew. They went for that bot side tower after taking that inhib, and the ultimates were just all in line for the side of MTU, able to take a couple of big kills there, one onto White Raven, and the shutdown onto the Zaya and the Rakan. Gonna go across now, still down 5k gold now, or 7k gold, sorry, and that's a big step up from them. They starting to pull the gold back even a little bit. I believe, I don't know if I'm right here. I believe that Renata has been level 8 and just turned level 9. I believe that Renata's been level 8 for like 5 minutes. Not just because of the amount of jungle proximity the Renata's been spending. Obviously she's not that far behind the Rakan, who's also been spending has a lot of jungle proximity.
But Noodle is 16 right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like the Renata being level 9 this late in the game, like 26 minutes in, is slow even for someone that's following their jungle around quite a bit. I don't know how that's going to affect these later fights. You know, you really need to get Renata to that level 11, get that second point into your ultimate, and it makes that hostile takeover just even that more potent. I believe it extends the how long the actual effect of it lasts. And in a big team fight, as we get into these later portions, if they can land and layer these ultimates, that hostile takeover is going to be very valuable.
Yeah, it's going to be seriously valuable later on because they're also strong, and having them kill each
got
other
Matrix.
is ways for them to win, but it doesn't matter as it looks like Matrix gets caught out, but he jumps over the wall, but doesn't matter though. Going to get taken out. We also see White Raven currently split pushing in that top lane, but they all need to be careful right now because all it takes is one Elder Dragon for the side of MTU to get back in this game. And Noodle right now might just got caught, gets hit with an R. A lot of damage come through as we see 2 items, 2 and a bit now for Earthshaker, and he's doing bits at the moment for the side of MTU.
That's 2 picks coming out from the side of MTU, but in response, they've just pushed up that mid wave. They have that pushing top side, which means somebody has to stay back in the base. They've committed 3 players down to that bot side to find those 2 kills, so that's going to be another inhib for TUD. And now with Baron up in 25 seconds, they're going to reset and get back out onto the map for this one, get those wards down, and try to finish this one off. And as you said, Elder's up in 1 minute and 20 seconds. So it's really going to come down to this next fight, whether if MTU can manage to stifle the attack. of TUD, they can go.
Yeah, MTU right now, just trying to Baron bait this, but in actuality, they just want Elder. I don't think they really need... If they want to slow the approach from TUD here, they have to get the Elder Dragon. Because if TUD get the Elder Dragon, it's just straight up game over. Like, just game over, FF, get out.
30 seconds on that Elder Drake. Now as they're... Look like they're looking... I don't know if they want to commit to something like this. They're starting to move... They're pressuring towards that topside river. And they may just try to burst the Baron. No, the Kai'Sa's on recall. They're just trying to clear vision. But you're not going to be on the map when Elder comes up. This could be a massive blunder.
Right now. Just straight go Elder. And here we go, Matrix looking for something, ghosting in, aggressive plays, down goes Cookie on the run. What are you doing, sir? He's greeting for the wave, and unfortunately, that's not gonna fly when people know what you're doing, and he just gets taken out there by TUD. Chaos Storm also gonna go down onto Me Lobster, who is running for dear life. Huge wave in that top lane means TUD are trying to take that Elder. Sejuani hoping for maybe a steal opportunity. We do see Matrix currently hovering outside that Dragon Pit, just stalling him, and down goes the Elder Dragon, and down goes the game potentially here, as MTU need to tunnel up and turtle up and not give literally anything away right now. All it takes now is just low enough health bars and they're gone.
Yeah, it's unfortunate from Jack Attack trying to get in for that steal, get spotted on a Scryer's Bloom from Matrix, and it's gonna stop them. But in the meantime, they don't even need the Baron, like you said. They just need that Elder. They're gonna be able to pressure that bot lane. Hostile takeover is gonna come in, but it's a bit too late. And now with the Cataclysm just being dodged by Earthshaker, but I think the damage is too much. They're just so far ahead. They're just slapping them with their wallets. All three inhibs down now. Supers in every lane.
The waves, and they're just gonna push this in.
Yeah, and I think it's just gonna be a quick 30-minute victory for them. Very, very just... Oh, Earthshaker trying to do something. Gets Mongolian Yeti.
We do see that Earthshaker gets taken out. Down goes the inhibitor, and with no Earthshaker, who, by the way, was the most fed member for the side of MTU there. It looks like that might be the game. Cookie on the run, trying to do something, but he does have that Elder health bar. He's in execution range. Down goes Cookie on the run. Next up might be Me Lobster. A lot of damage coming through, and it's going to be the Doriana. What can Jack Attack do when he's on his own here? He's going to die, and that is going to be the end of the game, and that will be TUD Daredevils taking this game.
No, that was a very, very... it was a very clear victory for that game. Daredevils just dismantled. Other than that one defense of their base that MTU had, it was really just a slow bleed from them. They took every Drake exactly when it spawned. They got Elder at 28 minutes, and then it just took the base 3 minutes after that. Not really much MTU could have done in that game. Their map positioning and awareness of different objectives and timers was kind of a bit off. They had that mid lane play where they had that play where they sent 3 players bot, found 2 kills, but it didn't matter because there was pressure being made on the map by the TUD Daredevils taking that mid inhib, setting themselves up for the later parts in the game where they're just trapped in their base. So either you have to walk out of your base and start trying to clear waves and you get caught by the Rakan Olaf like we've seen with the Kai'Sa, or you stay in base and we just take Elder and Baron. So it was pretty hard from MTU to play those later stages of that game, and in the end, TUD just showing why their B team showing they're just as strong as some of the top players in this league.
I completely agree, and after the end of that game, you've got a TUD team that's 4-1 and a TUD team that's 5-0 right now. Alpha and Daredevils looking super strong, and honestly, as much as MTU had such a tough game to play, I mean, they've been playing well before this, so honestly, it just shows you how strong some of these teams are, and just from seeing Daredevils themselves, I wouldn't count them out. I'd really put them as a dark horse for this tournament. They have a lot of potential to maybe do something against UCD. I don't think they've played UCD yet, but that will be an interesting game for the Seed to really see the standard they're at. I know they probably wouldn't beat the Apes Alpha just yet, but I definitely think the Daredevils could give something potentially against UCD. And I think if I was UCD watching that game, I'd definitely be looking at what TUD Daredevils do.
Yeah, that's for sure. But that's going to be it for me and OBK this evening. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back. I believe F1 is on tomorrow, and then we will be back for another fresh week. We're over the halfway point now for our leagues. So yeah, it's going to only go up from here. We're going to get some more exciting matchups with that Swiss system, putting us with the best teams against each other, especially this late into it. So that's going to be it for us this evening. We will see you guys next week. Thank you all for watching.